course, his hairstyle. A man without any particular political affiliation and with no organizational support was making his way to the highest office of the nation. William Shakespeare wrote, "Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them." Dr. Kalam fulfilled all three categories of greatness. Despite his humble beginnings, Dr. Kalam was born with greatness ingrained in him. He was a Muslim born in Rameshwaram, considered one of the holiest of towns by Hindus, who went on to receive a Christian missionary education for a large part of his formative years, and his best friend was the son of a local Hindu priest. His dreams of flying high were nurtured by a school teacher, Sri Shiva Subramaniam Iyer, in a country which was not politically independent yet. Few souls get to experience such diversity of society and religion, imbibing the unflinching hunger of impossible dreams, that too in their early years. Dr. Kalam was then refined in the fires of failure, be it the failure to become a fighter pilot as a young graduate or the failure of the first satellite launch vehicle, SLV, in 1979. And he learned how to overcome failures through his undying effort and perseverance. The difference between Dr. Kalam and a lot of us is not the lack of troubles or failures, but the fact that all his failures taught him how to navigate his way through life. He would embrace these failures, and it's those invaluable lessons that enabled him to make more formidable attempts the next time around. He wore his failures like badges, and he valued them as much as his successes. At no point was he embarrassed to speak of them. Dr. Kalam had the courage to take the bull by its horns, and that is what made him great. Throughout his career as a scientist, Dr. Kalam was managing the technological ascent of a country that was still struggling with its myriad prejudices and internal conflicts. It was only because he seemed to truly rise above these ingrained attitudes, a seemingly impossible task, and was respected in equal measure by all, that he was considered a great president. In the finer form of Hindi, the language of my home state, Uttar Pradesh, there is a word for those who are loved by all, Sarvapriya. And there's a word for those who rise and become so powerful that no rival can defeat them, Ajay, a very popular name across the country. But besides these two, there is another word, a more powerful one, Ajat a man so loved that he has no rivals. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was a rare Ajat of our times. He was rarely criticized, and even when he was, he handled it with grace. In September 2015, 6 weeks after his demise, I was in Chennai, interacting with a small group of children in a government school. I asked them, "When you grow up, what would you like to become?" All of them spontaneously raised their hands and shouted in unison, "Kalam." Bharat Ratna Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is best known for the generations he has inspired to dream, excel, and rise. He has shown his countrymen that hard work, sincerity, and talent do bear fruit in the long run, and the choices and efforts we make in our lifetime can transcend the odds that we were born with. Once, during a visit to Australia in 2012, a professor introduced Dr. Kalam to the class, saying, "Even in his 80s, for the youth of India, he commands the respect of a sage and the charisma of a rock star." Of course, Dr. Kalam had a soft spot for the youth. I remember him saying many a time, "Up to the age of 17, the mind of a youth can be shaped. Beyond that, it becomes difficult." Hence, he dedicated a large part of his life during his presidential rule and beyond it, trying to shape the minds of the Indian youth. He wanted them to have three traits: righteousness, creativity, and courage. He even formulated an equation, which he called the knowledge equation, where knowledge is a sum of these three traits. He said, "Knowledge makes you